disgruntledduck.com.
Welcome guys, new day, new project. I've got the Tamiya M4 Sherman, the early version on the bench. It's quite a lot in the box, load of sprues, load of bits of stowage to go on the outside. This is a real classic American tank, so it should be, hopefully, quite a fun build. There's quite a lot to be doing here, so I don't reckon it's going to be that quick, but yeah, this is what's up next. So it gives you two options for the front of the tank, two casting variants, either this bottom one or this top one. That's the bottom one. I've decided to go for the top one. It looks, I think that's a little bit fiercer. So yeah, that's the first option we've had on there. So most of the back of the lower hole's done. It's gone together really nicely actually. There's a few little bits of flash for it to clean up, but all in all, a pretty nice little build so far. The only other two bits I've got, and these two little side bits that need to go, one on here and one on the other side, but there's a couple little casting marks in those. So just put a bit of putty in, can let them set out, sand them down, and then fit them on. So I'm going to move on to the next stage now. So all the bogies have been cleaned up. Now the only problem I've got with these is I like to paint the wheels separately. So where are they? Here's our wheels. So I like to paint these in separately with the black tyres or the black rim, and then fit them on to these, but then these need to join up. The only problem is when they join up, I don't know if we can see it. I'll grab one. Right, we've got, so yeah, as you can see, when it focuses, there we go. There's quite a bit of seam there, so we're going to have to paint these, join them all together, seal them, sand them, and then repaint them, which is a bit of a bind, but that looks like the only thing we can do for these ones. So this guy's looking alright at the minute. We've got most of the small details added onto it, the lights, the little cages around the lights, bits and pieces on the top of the hull. So I'm going to let this guy dry up nicely, so all that cement cures on there. I'll have a work on the turret next, and then hopefully come back when that's sort of a bit more built. So I've moved on to the turret now. Part of the gun assembly. One thing that's quite nice in this kit, it's got such a small barrel, but it's all cast in one piece, so there's going to be no casting marks, or join marks, which is nice. Put the turret together, just filled in, there's a little gap in there, cleaned it up a little bit. Right, into this bit. So we've got the two little periscopes here. I'm going to paint them separately, fit them right at the ends. It's a nice hollow bottom in there, so I'll be able to get to them later. Also, there's a radio that fits in here. As I'm not leaving any of the top open, I keep that. I can see that coming in use at a later stage. So I'm just going to finish off this gun assembly, and then we can start sticking that turret together. Alright, I've now got the turret gun all assembled, stuck together. This actually isn't too bad. It looks pretty nice actually, looks pretty neat. So I'm going to let that cure for a while, and then put in some of those more detailed parts. So the hull is completely done according to the instructions. From what I can see, there's nothing more I need to add to this. So that's it. It's quite basic. I've enjoyed it, but you know what's going to be the trick's going to be all this stowage that goes on top. Now I feel about stowage kind of the same way I feel about figures. It's a lot easier to make a tank look like a tank than a rucksack look like a rucksack. So that's definitely going to be a challenge. I'm going to finish the turret up. Just got to put a few more bits on top of that. The only aftermarket things I'm going to use, and don't even class them as aftermarket, I'm going to use some guitar strings for my aerials on there. But apart from that, yeah, we're pretty close to being ready for painting. So right, we're looking about done for the build. Turret's finished. Got all the small little bits put on now, so that's going to be ready for painting. I've cleaned up all the wheels over here. They're ready to get some undercoat and paint on. And then finally, all these little parts, I've got the machine gun done for the turret, all the little parts for the stowage, the tracks, the boxes, the rucksacks, the tools, the spare wheels, gas cans, jerry cans, etc. That's all been done now. I've sanded them down, cleaned them up nicely, so we're going to paint them all up, and then we can start assembling this thing properly. So the last couple of projects I've really messed up with my my olive drab paints, so I've mixed this one about 50-50 ratio, so hopefully it's going to come out a lot lighter, so once the weathering's done it's not going to look black on there. So that's it on the body. I like that green. I think that's nice. Definitely once that's had a couple of washes and some weathering, I think that's going to be about how we want it to be. So yeah, fingers crossed, and see how this turns out with some varnish afterwards. So I've joined the wheels together now, or the bogies, however you want to call them, and there's a bit of a line between the two halves on some of them. So a little bit of sanding, and they don't look too bad afterwards. Hopefully I'm going to just hand paint it on with a little bit of that olive drab, and then hopefully this is going to look a lot better. Bogies, idlers, wheels, they're all fitted now. Front sprockets looking a lot neater and cleaner. So now super glue the tracks together, give them a quick little dry brush with a dark metal colour, and then join those up, then see if we can fit this top on. So I've gone with an insanely heavy black wash on this guy. Just trying something different, really. I don't know what effects it's going to give me, but I want to weather this guy quite heavily. It's going to darken the paint up, so I really want those rivets to stand out and all that detail to stand out. So I've gone with a really thick oil wash, really slaps it on, and I let this dry off a bit, and then see what we can do to clean it up and hopefully make it look pretty sick. So they provide a bit of stowage with the kit, so I want to add a bit more. So I've got a few random bits from other kits and some random resin stuff. So I'm going to get this all painted up now, looking good, and then start to attach that maybe to the tank when it's complete. So there we are. After that really dark wash, and we've cleaned it up, that looks pretty stunning, to be honest. I'm super chuffed with how that's come out. There's a couple of bits I just need to go over still, but yeah, I think that's really successful. That's really worked well on that colour, and it's really made that that olive pop actually starting to look like the colour it should look like now. So it's a little bit more work on that, and we should be up to the second stage. So I've gone over the stowage with a couple of washes. Didn't need to varnish them to put these ones. These go straight on top of the acrylic paint. So there's what's this, sepia and a black Citadel washes from Games Workshop. I used to use them back in the day, and I don't know, I just like them for, especially for doing fabrics and clothes and stuff. So yeah, I've gone a combination. Some have gone with black, some have gone with the brown, some have done a mixture, just to see how these turn out, and then we're going to go after that a bit of dry brushing and a little bit detail work, I think. So these are the stowage for the Sherman, just some random bits. Some bits came with it, some bits from other kits, a couple of random resin bits. So yeah, I think these look quite okay, to be fair. So I'm going to get some string to make a rope to go around the turret and hang these from it. So that's the next stage. So as you can see, I've got my little rope on around the side. Looks alright. So now I can attach some of my rucksacks and stowage to that. It should look alright. So there we go. Stowage all attached. I think that's alright. Need to clean that sheen off with a little bit of dull coat, but that's not bad, is it? Looks proper. Well chuffed with that. So you know I love trying out new things, so this guy's looking pretty alright. We've got this one. It's acrylic environment effects, rain marks. So I'm going to try this out. It's supposed to work like a regular wash. So you're going to try this out on the side and see how that looks. So you can see some of the effects I've got using that. It's alright. I mean, yeah, I can pretty much do the same thing with oils, but you know, it's convenient. There's a ton of it in the bottle, so it's going to last forever. What I'm going to see now though is that's acrylic. I want to see as it's dried out if I can now go straight over that with some oils because that would make it a little bit more worthwhile for me. So let's have a crack with that at the minute and then check back. So I've gone over a couple little spots, a little bit of a rust wash, and yeah, that acrylic holds up perfectly, so I've gone straight over that, no need to varnish in between. And it's definitely, got on the front as well, it's definitely starting to get a little bit of character, this tank, so I'm pretty happy with that. So little Sherman is looking pretty good. Stowage is all done. It's had its dull coat on, so it's looking all right now. Just to finish this off, a little bit of pigments, and then we're pretty much good to go. So right, I'm going to call this one done. I've done my pigments, aerials on there, guns on there, my stowage is done. Yeah, so this is done. I've had a lot of fun with this. I really have enjoyed building this. Yeah, I'm still getting into this stowage. I think maybe next time I can put straps on those backpacks as well. But yeah, I like the result. Getting better with the pigments. So yeah, all in all, steadily improving. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, check out the finished video. Get some photos up and leave a comment, and I'll speak to you guys soon.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment.